You know, somebody once told me it takes a whole lifetime to create your whole reputation and only 1 second to ruin it. And we saw that played out in real time in the final of the Club World Cup as Luis Enrique punches João Pedro. So let me get this straight. This is a terrible look for PSG. This is a terrible look for Luis Enrique. You've been lecturing the world and steamrolling a whole Europe in the Champions League, in the Ligue 1, and obviously the French Cup. And the minute you look bad and the minute you lose a game, this is the look from PSG. Of course, right? PSG, it's always been that bum club that always had a lot of money but never had an actual club, an actual culture, an actual identity. And the minute they lose, all of that comes out. After you've been lecturing and you've been looking like a gentleman's club, because of course when you're winning, everything goes right. People say judge people in the bad moments, in the worst moments, because that's really when your character really truly comes out. So PSG gets embarrassed 3-0 to Chelsea in the Club World Cup final. Congratulations to Chelsea. They played incredible. Nobody gave them credit. Nobody thought they had a chance, including myself. I thought PSG, and probably I still think that PSG is the best club in the world as we stand right now. But after the whistle, Luis Enrique punches João Pedro. Not his finest moment. No excuses. But this isn't just a Luis Enrique problem. He's probably going to get fined. This is a PSG problem. Don't know how to handle success. Don't know how to handle losses. When are you going to start being a real club? For a minute there, you look like you belong. You finally won your Champions League. But you could not handle not winning everything this season. And the one thing you lose, the one final that you lose, this is what happens. This is a terrible look on PSG. I'm not going to lie. I remember saying this on this channel. It's crazy that people don't think that Barcelona had a shot in the UEFA Champions League final had that made it through. Because this team, when they get punched in the mouth, they're a really great front running team. When they're winning, everything steamrolls. But when things are not played on their terms, the moment Caicedo put Vitinha on lockdown mode, they didn't have a second punch. They didn't have a tweak. They didn't have adjustments in the second half or even in the first half. This is what I meant. Barcelona had a realistic chance of winning the UEFA Champions League if they played against PSG because it's all about matchups. And I know Barcelona had a pretty bad defense last year, but they had a chance because they had the offense to attack PSG. And guess what? Against Chelsea, the moment things didn't go well for PSG, they didn't have a second chance. And honestly, all credit to Cole Palmer, who literally could have had a hat trick in 20 minutes. In the first 20 minutes of this game, just literally took over the game 1,000%. An amazing game. And I've texted my friend RSM and I said this maybe a month ago. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It was 2 weeks ago, and I said, you know what? Cole Palmer, he's so great. The only thing that he's missing is just consistency. Because this is what he can do. He can take over the game. And he literally had a shot from outside the box that was this much from going in. And 2 plays later, 2 goals from Cole Palmer, and then an assist to João Pedro, who has just changed the whole dynamic of the team. And I told my friend RSM, this is also a couple of weeks, I've been watching Chelsea and I've been texting him, and I said, you know what? Chelsea has a great team. It looks like they're just a striker away. João Pedro comes in, and lo and behold, what do you know? Wow. Chelsea right now, they got all the pieces to just have an outstanding team, great defense, great midfield, great offense. And basically, this is what happened to PSG. And quite frankly, this could have been 4 to 5 goals had Chelsea being a little bit more efficient. And PSG was broken. They lost their cool, their dignity, and their composure. And Luis Enrique, who I really respect, who I really, really like him as a coach, I like him as a person, punches João Pedro. Not a stare down, not a verbal jab, a literal punch in front of millions of people watching and in the stands. This is part of playing in a chaotic culture like PSG. It consumes you. You become part of them and they become part of you. This is exactly what happens with PSG. They're buying their way in. They don't have a culture. They have the trophies. Do they have an identity? Growth? No. Do they have any culture? Non-existent. Every year they dominate in France. They want to dominate in Europe and they never do. They finally did it. And the minute they have adversity, they unravel. It's insane. We cannot take them seriously. But let's give credit to Chelsea. They do have spent a lot of money on that club as well. But they had to switch. They had to make important decisions. They had to switch managers. But they showed up in the World Cup final against one of the best, if not the best team in the world to this day in Europe, all named PSG. But on the day that it truly, truly matters against PSG, they showed up. They looked like adults. They looked like winners. They knew how to get to PSG. They had an incredible game plan. And credit to Chelsea because getting João Pedro, and it looked like they just hit it out of the park. That guy looks incredible. That guy looks unstoppable right now. And if you haven't seen it, let's take a look at it right now. That's not your finest moment. I'm sure he's going to get fined for this. Like, I don't know. Like, guys, let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts about this? What do you think this is going to happen? And hey, one more time, I just want to say this. Congratulations to Chelsea. They showed up. Nobody gave him a chance, a realistic chance. I thought that maybe had a maybe 20%. They played incredible in the first half. Like I said, they have an incredible team, and well, let's see. Now they just set the bar really high. They beat PSG. Now I'm sure that their fans are gonna expect a Premier League now. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.